Hi, I'm Kathleen Sheridan from Origami and You, and I am so excited to be here with you today to share my love of origami. I'm hoping that this will be a new hobby for you, or maybe just a time that you will find very relaxing and enjoyable. What you need today is 4 pieces of paper. They could be origami pieces of paper like this, or they could be copy paper or wrapping paper, but they do need to be square. So it could be any size square, 3 by 3, 4 by 4, 5 by 5. You get the idea. So if you're not ready with your paper yet, I'll just take a moment to do a little infomercial on myself and my business to give you some time to get ready with those 4 pieces of exact same size squares. So again, I'm Kathleen from Origami and You, and I'm a maker of makers. My passion is teaching people to do origami, to learn origami. But I do have some things for sale, especially around the holiday seasons, all holidays, Valentine's Day, spring, Easter. But for the Christmas holiday or winter holidays, I like to do ornaments like this. This is one called Hortensia by Carmen Sprung. You've probably seen a traditional origami crane. This one's made into an ornament, and this one also flies. Isn't that nice? Love a good flapping crane. Here's another star. Stars are so beautiful and plentiful in the origami world. They are just so much fun to fold. I also make origami jewelry, like the earrings that I'm wearing. And here's another sample. Here's another style that I make. Those are moving all around, huh? Here's another style of origami earrings that I make. So just to give you a little idea there of some other things. Oh, and I want to show you this too. Paper is the symbol of the first anniversary. Most of you probably know that, but I do commission work as well. So this is a little example of 2 kissing cranes. It's all paper. So this would be a little gift that I would make for anyone who would want for giving to their new partner for their first anniversary. So I hope that you are ready with your 4 pieces of paper. Oh, but before we get to that, I also want to give you an opportunity to join me for another class. I have lots of classes going on, and this coming Saturday, December 5th, and Sunday, December 6th, I'm going to have some classes. These are all online. December 5th in the late afternoon, I'm going to have origami boxes and containers for holiday gift giving. It could be for putting treats in, baked goods, or for any other kind of gifts that you have. So this is just an example of one thing that we'll be making in the class. You could put a little cookies in there or anything. This is another example. You could put a little loaf of some kind in here. And again, they're very quick and easy to make and a lot of fun. You can sign up with anyone in your family or any friends. And on Sunday the 6th, I'm going to be teaching a variety of, they could be seen as Christmas trees, but also I just like to make them as pine trees, and I have them out all winter long because I really like origami trees. So the reason I'm mentioning those both today are because if you contact me via Facebook, Instagram, or my email, and please do get on my email list, and if you mention the word dazzle, as in Holidazzle, you can get a 15% discount on either one of those classes. So if you'd like to join me for another class after you get a taste of today, go ahead and contact me and mention the word dazzle, and you can get a discount. So I think that's enough of the infomercial, and let's go ahead with your 4 pieces of paper and get started. You also need some scissors. We're just going to cut into some rectangles. Okay, I'm back, and I hope that you are ready with your 4 pieces of paper. Like I said, we also need scissors because yes, we do not cut in origami, but it's okay to cut to make your paper the right size. So we need to cut each of these papers into 2 rectangles. We actually need 8 rectangles. from squares. Very important. You can't just have random rectangles. Rectangles from squares. 8 rectangles to make this cool star model. So let's go ahead and get started. So fold each one in half, and if you didn't know, you'll notice when you're folding a square that there is no hamburger or hot dog folding. So go ahead and fold each one in half and cut on that crease line. Try to do your best job cutting, but it's okay if it's a little bit off. And if you happen to get more paper out, or if you're faster at cutting than I am, then you can be ready to make more stars. So I would encourage you to cut more paper if you are waiting for me. And the next one. All right, so I've got 4 squares of paper that I have cut into rectangles. Here we go. Now what we're going to do, oh, I should show you the star, shouldn't I? Hey, how about that? I think I showed during the promo. This is one example of this gorgeous star. So if you have paper that has color or design on both sides, it's going to look fantastic. This is one side of this paper and this is the other side. So both sides show, and you get a choice of where you want the pattern or the color, solid color, to be. And it's exactly the same on both sides. I think that's really fun about this model. Now this one looks different because of the pattern of the paper. Then this one I did kind of like an opposite type thing. I made the white of the paper be the main color, and this one was duo. Opposite meaning this one's the white part. Blue, I always like some blue stars. And then you can use really any kind of paper. I used some foil I had. This was wrapping paper, and the back happened to be red, but if yours is white, if you use wrapping paper and the back is white, that's just fine too. Here's some that I had that has white. And again, you can do mostly white and have the tips have the color. I think that looks really nice too. So I'm going to leave this one out as a little sample, so we can refer back to that, okay? All right, so the main color, I'm going to call this the main color, and then the color that you want the tips. That's what we need to be thinking about when we first orient our paper. So I'm going to make mine so that the main color of each portion, actually let me go back a little more. Let me go back a little tiny bit more here. Explain this. So this is a modular star, which means that it's made up of units. This is a unit, and the unit is nothing, right? Blah, nothing by itself. This is a whole category of origami, modular origami. So modular origami is made up of units that are nothing. I shouldn't say that. I think the origami police is going to get mad at me. But anyway, these units are something when you do the fun assembly, that's kind of like a puzzle. You assemble them, put them all together, and then they become something, which could be a flat 2D something. It could be a 3D model, like this one that I showed before. This is modular origami. Each of those pieces is one individual unit, and then I fit them together. Okay, don't get me going on different types of origami, because I could go on for days, but that's a little introduction there. So when we make our units, we need to think about what color we want to be our main color. So I'm going to have white points and main color. Let's start with the main color up for your paper. And we're going to fold from right side over to left. So now you have the color that you want the tip to be. Fold it in half. This is a hamburger fold. Unfold that. Then we're going to fold that same right side into the middle crease that we just made. Crease again. Leave that folded. And then we're going to use that first crease line, that middle crease line, and just roll this section on top of the last section that we have. So now we have a square, nice square, that's half color and half the back side of the paper, if you have two color side paper. Then we're going to flip it over. So lift up the right side and flip it to the left when you're flipping it over, okay? It's kind of important that you do it that way. Then we're on the back side where it's all smooth and it's the color we want the tips to be. Then we're going to take the top flat side and we're going to bring it down to the bottom. We're going to fold it in half this way. I guess that would be, no, it's not a hot dog or a hamburger, is it? Because it's a square again. Okay, then we're going to, so now we have multiple layers on the left side of our rectangle here, and then we just have two layers on the right side. The 2-layer side we want to be on the right, so we're going to just flip it over. Okay, if it seems a little confusing right now, I apologize, but it will become very clear after we make 8 of them, I promise. Okay, so now this side, let me just show you all angles of it. It has almost kind of like a hood over this, let's just call the colored section like the main section here. And it has like a little hood over it. If you can kind of envision that. This is like a little hood. So anyway, this extra section, we're going to put our finger inside in this pocket, okay? In the pocket all the way to the corner. And then this, I'm just going to draw on mine. You don't need to draw on yours. This edge right here, that side, we want to lift this whole pocket open, lift this up so that this side becomes aligned with the horizontal. And of course, this whole portion of the square will rise up and it will be sticking straight up above the rest of the paper of the model. Flatten it down, okay? Maybe I did that a little too fast. This is a squash fold. So we put our finger in the pocket, push on the edge that's already lifting up, help it, squash it flat. It should be aligned with that horizontal and the rest of the paper is going straight up. So in essence, you've created a right triangle here. This extra little portion that's sticking out, you want to fold it up so it's flush right against the edge of the triangle. And let me just show right there, that's the edge. So we want to just make it as tight as we can and fold it right up against it. If you've got some gap there or it doesn't quite meet, that's okay. It's going to be fine. And that's it. That is the completed unit. Fun, right? You can do that. So we need 8 more, just proving to you that that's the end. We need 8 more. So we want the main color that we want our unit, the main color up. This is the main color, by the way, even though this seems like it might be main. This is going to be the tip. So the main color facing up, we're going to fold the right side over to the left, covering up the main color. Nice crease, always firm, crisp creases. Unfold, see that middle crease. We're going to bring the right side again over to meet that new crease we just made in the middle. Crease again, always firm creases. Then we're going to use that first middle crease and we're just going to roll this over. Then we've got our half and half square here. Half color, half color. We're going to pick up the piece of paper and we're going to flip it. Pick it up on the right, flip that over to the left. So now we're on the back side, the smooth side. We're going to bring the top down to the bottom, and we're going to crease it in half. Now we're going to flip it again. Flip the right over to the left. We want the opening to be at the bottom. We want this pocket side to be on the right. We want to put our finger in the pocket all the way to the corner. This edge will lift up. Let it lift up, and the rest of this is going to shoot up above. Okay, I don't know if it's that drastic, but it's going to go up above this horizontal, forming a right triangle, and of course a triangle down here, and then flatten. That was our squash fold. And you have this extra triangle down here. We're going to make it flush right up against that folded edge. And we've got 2 pieces complete. Hopefully you have 2 pieces complete as well. If not, if you just finished your first, don't worry, it's okay. All right, I'm going to go on to my third. Main color up, fold it in half, right to left. Now, as you're doing this, some of you might be thinking, I can't remember all these folds right now. Maybe you want to do what I personally like to call the factory method, like you're an assembly line. You could do the same step or 2 steps, sequence of 2 steps to every piece of paper. This is another way of folding. Again, I call it the factory method because you're a little factory. But folding the complete pieces, I feel that helps your memory a little bit more. Helps you remember all the steps just a little bit more. Okay, so I won't do that the whole way through, but I'll do a variety. So you fold it in half, and then you unfold, and then fold the right half into the center line, and then use that center line to fold in. So let's say you remember that much. You could do that much to all of your papers. Fold in half, unfold, fold to the middle line, and fold to the center. Put it aside. And it's good to keep them all nice and lined up. You know, you don't want to be kind of, oh, I'm done, yay, throw it around. You want to keep them all nice and lined up. Always keep count and keep nice lined up. Nicely lined up. Open, fold to the center, and fold in half. And I'll just do one more in that way. Open, fold to the center, nice crease, and close it up. So I'll leave 4 that I'll fold in factory method. These 2 I'm going to continue all the way to the end, like this, okay? So I'm going to open, fold to the middle, and then close it up. Now we see our half and half square. We're going to lift it up on the right, flip it to the left so we see the back. Bring the top down to the bottom, folding it in half. Give a nice crease through all layers. The thinner side, just 2 layers, should be on the right. We want it on the left, so flip it over again. Now you see the pocket on the right, just the top layer, that's 2 layers thick. You want to go under, put your one finger under that pocket. The side comes to squash up and align with the horizontal. When it's aligned, you squash the rest into that right triangle above the horizontal, and the rest of the paper comes along with it. Complete. Okay, next we are going to unfold, fold this to the middle, close up, flip over, top to bottom. Always crisp creases. Flip over, so the pocket's on the right. Finger in the pocket all the way to the corner. Push and squash, so the crease line matches up with the horizontal, and you squash the triangle going up. The extra part, crease it up along the folded edge. Are you having fun yet? This is my life. I think this is great. Okay, now we're going, oh, I did that one already. Now I'm going to flip this over, fold down, crease well. The single sides are on the right. We want them on the left. Finger in the pocket, open up and squash. Now that one I made a little crooked. See, it's not completely pointed, so I can fix that. Or I could leave it. It's okay. And the extra comes along for the ride. If this, again, if this is not equal, it's okay. This part's going to be covered up. Now here I said to keep your pieces nice and neat, and I've got an ugly little pile there. It's okay. All right, this one's ready to go. So we flip it over, fold top to bottom, crease well. Here's the thin side, just 2 layers. We want that on the left. Finger in the pocket. The side comes up, squash on the horizontal, and flatten the triangle. And again, that one is not too pointy. There we go. And finish it off with the extra little flap. Next piece. Flip it over, top to bottom. I should have said this a while ago, but if top to bottom is uncomfortable for you, you can certainly go bottom to top. Just always you want to orient your paper so it's the same as mine. So you want to get to this part so that the thin, just the single layers are on the left, and then you put your finger in on the right so you can open up that pocket and squash. You can always move the paper any way, you know, if you want to even move at this kind of an angle. Move the paper any way you need to so you don't have wacky arms, wacky hands when you're folding. That's not comfortable. That won't make for a fun experience. Flip. Fold down or up. Flip again. The pocket's here. We open the pocket, crease well, and fold this extra part up. There we go. We have got, hopefully you are right along with me, we have got our 8 pieces. Now if you have different colored pieces like this, you might want to think about putting them in order. These were all exactly the same, so there was no order. But it's a little, well, it's not hard, but it's a little more challenging if you have to grab, hold what you're doing, assemble it all, and grab for the right color. So sometimes I just like to, there we go, I just like to line mine up first. Okay, so the assembly. Oh my gosh, so much fun. Every part of origami is fun, right? So we've got like what we can call an arrowhead, right? It looks a lot like an arrowhead. So the arrowhead faces to the right. The next piece we pick up and it faces exactly the same way. They face exactly the same. And one of them is going to go into this square. It's going to fit right in between those 2 layers. So the arrowhead, and then it's going to slant, it's going to tilt. So it's going to go like this. So here's the X-ray view. This is what's happening underneath the layers. This arrowhead is going to fit, think of right where this flap meets the horizontal, that where everything's happening right there. That's where this arrow point is going to go, right there. It should just pretty much sit, just kind of sit right in there. Hold it together right there so you know it's in tight, and then you're just going to wrap this extra paper right around that triangle. Wrap it around, and then you do it on the back too. So you can flip it, you can change it in your hand, whatever you need to do. But make it nice and tight. See, I didn't make it too tight there. I would make it a little bit tighter. Sometimes assembly is easier done flat on the table. Sometimes assembly is easier done in the air. This one, really, I would suggest whichever is more comfortable for you. I like to do this one in the air, but then again, I'm an experienced folder. So if it's easier for you, maybe, again, think of it as the arrowhead is going to right there. The horizontal that meets the triangle. So we've got to separate these two layers. Trying to show you what it looks like on the table. Yeah, it might be more difficult on the table. Put this in here, so it goes in like that, all the way in. So it's X-ray view. Here it is. Hold it with one finger at least to lock it in, and then just flip this behind. I'll just show you that a little closer. Just flipping it behind, making it tight and snug right up against there. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Flip it right behind. And you'll notice it's starting to curve already, like our star. I promise it's going to work. It's going to turn out for everybody. Okay, next, the arrowhead goes in to fit inside the square. Lock it in tight. Push it in tight. This is the lock. Lock it in and lock it in. I should mention that is another really fun thing about modular origami, units, and then the puzzle, that's the assembly, but there's always a pocket, a tab, and a lock. Pocket, tab goes in the pocket, and we lock it. Oh boy, there's a rhyme. I like a good rhyme. Pocket in the tab, no wait, what did I say? Oh yeah. Lock it. Tab in the pocket and we lock it. There we go. Tab in the pocket and you lock it. Don't drop it. Okay. See, it's starting to form here. Woo, woo, woo. Nice. Cheering for myself. I'm cheering for you too. I hope you're having success. Fold. Nope, that one I folded a little too far over. Now you can see right here I made some, I didn't fold too precisely right there. That's what that extra is. That's okay. No problem. Actually, I kind of like how that extra makes it look like a little extra design. Now I might be going faster than you are here. That's okay. But I want you to just notice what's going to happen at the end here. Because some people think, oh, but how do you finish? The end is so hard. Look what happens. Take a moment, just look at mine, what's happening. Completely lines up. Okay, not completely. I have to move it a little bit. And that's okay. You might have to shift yours, especially since this is your first time making it. But you'll notice, too, you have to switch some layers around. You can easily just kind of, like, what would this be? Like a little passageway here, kind of like the Panama Canal here. You can just flip those back and forth. So don't be afraid of that. Open up the pocket of the one that is the last one when you get there, and then gently put the arrowhead, the tab in. You know how far it needs to go because that arrowhead needs to sit right in the corner. And you'll feel it, you'll be able to tell. It should not have that. It should just go right in the corner. And if you have to maneuver it more so that it fits, you do that. And if it makes the rest of it buckle a little bit, that's okay. You can just rearrange. And when you've got it in, then you lock the papers around the sides. Lock it in the pocket and lock it. Okay, now I might want to go around and just double check that I've got these all locked in as flat as they can be. I can flatten it this way. And there we go. I hope you were successful. I hope you enjoyed it. And this is Petra Star by Maria Sinaskaya. And I had a lovely time teaching it to you today. So go ahead and connect with me through email, Facebook, or Instagram. And don't forget the code word DAZZLE. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.